This work illustrates the beginning of Dante's Inferno by mirroring the scene in Canto 1 where Dante is lost in the dark woods and stopped by a trio of beastly animals. Before we begin, take a minute to look at the piece in front of you. Try to put yourself in the situation of the pair before you. If you were standing in the middle of the scene, how would you feel? What would be going through your mind? What would you do? Now that you have contemplated your initial emotional response, analyze the technique of the painting. Think about the first place your eyes are drawn. What is highlighted in this work? How does it compare to what you've read in Dante's epic? Corot's artwork, particularly the lighting, allows us to see the power of nature in the world around us. The lighting highlights Dante's emotional state in response to the environment to be seen. The colors around him and Virgil are lighter so that the pair are clear, which is significant because the light in this painting is so minimal. This is important for the viewer because it draws attention to the facial expressions. Dante's face is painted with fear and dismay while he leans into Virgil for support. Dante is experiencing the emotions of nervousness and discomfort because of the danger and chaos of the natural physical surroundings and the three predatory animals around them. Another technique that emphasizes nature's power are Corot's brushstrokes, which are quite ambiguous and make the trees seem large in number. The fact that the trees are not clearly distinguishable and blend into each other with branches sticking out lends to the chaos of the scene. The darkened trees and forestry create an environment that is unsettling because it is not visible to the eye. The forest can thus be viewed as a symbolic representation of the dark and dangerous environment of hell that is below. It is the prelude to, quote, the howls of desperation and the ancient spirits in their pain, end quote, that will be featured for Dante later on. Corot depicts the lion, wolf, and leopard as each of their own entities through their clearly defined bodies, further identifying each animal's natural power. In addition to the use of the white paint, also noticeable in Virgil's toga, Corot emphasizes the teeth and eyes of the animals and makes them appear very intimidating and even menacing. The threatening creatures align well with the intimidating pathway to hell Dante will soon be headed down, and with the, quote, savage wilderness, end quote, Dante compares them to. This is significant because Corot emphasizes the wild and untamable qualities of the animals and nature as a whole. By highlighting the animals as predators, the artist shows the powerlessness of humanity against them. The fact that Dante is only saved from them by a divine and dead figure who cannot be harmed by them further conveys this point. A fun thing to point out is that if you look closely at the leopard, you will notice it actually appears to be painted like a tiger. The exotic nature of these animals means the artist Corot had likely never seen a leopard or had any idea of what it looked like. One important element of this piece that is difficult to discern is the scale of it. If we were physically in the Museum of Fine Arts, this would be towering over you. The painting measures about 8.5 feet in height by 5.5 feet in width. If you thought the piece was ominous before, just imagine how the scale of the work would exacerbate those feelings. The impact is even more extreme once you understand the artwork's size. The scale is also important in showing that nature, specifically the landscape, is powerful. The landscape is the largest part of the work, and the size of the painting makes it appear even more monumental than it already seems, both for Dante and us, the viewer.